$5 million. That's what someone paid for a single American horse last September at the Keeneland sale in Kentucky. The horse was 11 months old. It had never raced. It had never been ridden. It had never even worn a saddle. And among the people watching the bidding, that price was not surprising. It was the going rate. Welcome to the world of the 1% of American racehorses, a world almost no American has ever seen. Every September in Lexington, Kentucky, the world's largest thoroughbred auction happens at Keeneland. It runs for 12 days. Buyers fly in from Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, Russia, the United Kingdom, and Ireland. They sit in tiered seating around an auction ring. Yearlings, horses just over a year old, walk in one at a time. The auctioneer's voice climbs, hands go up, money moves. In 2024, that sale grossed $427 million. 36 yearlings sold for over $1 million each. The top yearling, a colt by the stallion Curlin out of a mare named Cavorting, went for $5 million to a single buyer. The horse had never raced. 1 year later, in 2025, the same sale shattered its own record. $531 million total, a 24% jump in a single year. A few weeks before each Keeneland sale, the smaller and more selective Saratoga sale runs in upstate New York. In 2025, a colt by the stallion Into Mischief sold there for $4.1 million. The total Saratoga sale that year averaged $626,000 per yearling for 161 horses. Most of the buyers at these sales are not gambling on whether their horse will be fast enough to race. They are gambling on whether it will be fast enough to win, and whether, after winning, it will be valuable enough to retire to stud. The actual racing is almost beside the point. The investment is not a racehorse. The investment is a future stallion. The horses that get bought at those sales do not go to ordinary stables. They go to Kentucky's bluegrass country, a stretch of rolling green farmland between Lexington and Versailles, where some of the most expensive real estate in American agriculture is owned by a small handful of breeding farms. Coolmore Ashford Stud, Windstar Farm, Claiborne Farm, Lane's End, Hill and Dale at Salapa, Three Chimneys, Spendthrift Farm. These names control most of the top thoroughbred bloodlines in North America, and the horses living at these farms are some of the most valuable individual animals on earth. Coolmore Ashford is the American branch of the Coolmore Empire, headquartered in Ireland. The current resident at Coolmore Ashford includes Justify, the 2018 Triple Crown winner, the 13th horse in history to sweep the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes. Justify's stud fee for 2025 is $200,000 per single maiden. Windstar Farm sits a few miles away. Windstar is where Justify lived during his racing career, where Life is Good currently stands at $75,000 a mating, and where Constitution stands at $110,000. Hill and Dale at Salapa is home to Curlin, the same Curlin who sired the $5 million yearling, at $225,000 per maiden. Claiborne Farm, the oldest of these operations, was the home of Secretariat for the last 16 years of his life. Today, it is the home of Warfront, who at his peak commanded $250,000 per mating. Tour these farms in person, and what stands out is how much they look like luxury resorts. Tree-lined drives, stone fences, climate-controlled barns. The horses that live here are not raised. They are hosted. The daily life of a top American racehorse looks more like the daily life of a professional athlete in their off-season than the daily life of a horse. Windstar Farm has an underwater aquatread, a saltwater spa, a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and theraplates, vibration platforms, used for muscle conditioning and circulation. Kessmark, Kentucky, a specialized rehab facility based in Lexington, has performed over 30,000 hyperbaric oxygen therapy treatments on horses. Their hyperbaric chamber is 10 feet in diameter and built to medical safety standards. A horse with a soft tissue injury at one of these facilities can be given saltwater spa treatments, hyperbaric oxygen sessions, and underwater treadmill conditioning, all in the same week. A horse with cartilage issues can have stem cell injections. A horse with breathing problems can have endoscopic surgery performed at Rood and Riddle Equine Hospital, one of the largest specialty equine hospitals in the world, also based in Lexington. It can also be treated at Hagyard Equine Medical Institute, the second major specialty hospital in town. Daily routine at a top farm. A morning workout on a private dirt training track monitored by a clocker. A cool down on a hot walker, a circular machine that walks horses in slow circles until their heart rates come down. Custom meals based on body composition. Veterinary checks, personal grooms, climate-controlled stalls, daily turnouts in private paddocks. The cost of that daily care at a top facility runs into the tens of thousands of dollars per horse per month. Over a year, that adds up to numbers that match the average American household income for the upkeep of a single horse. But the part that almost no casual fan understands is what happens after a top racehorse retires. The racing career, the one fans see, the one with the Kentucky Derby trophies and the Triple Crown headlines, isn't the most lucrative phase of a champion's life. The breeding career is. When American Pharoah won the Triple Crown in 2015, his owners sold his exclusive breeding rights to Coolmore for $23.5 million. When Justify won the Triple Crown in 2018, he was syndicated for breeding for $75 million. Years before either of them, Coolmore paid $60 million for the breeding rights to Fusaichi Pegasus, a horse that turned out to be a poor stud. The deal is now considered one of the worst stud purchases in racing history. Coolmore made the deal anyway because the upside was that high. Here is why. A top stallion can breed 150 to 200 mares per breeding season. At $200,000 per mating, Justify's current rate, that is $30 to $40 million per year, generated by a single horse standing in a stall. Galileo, the Coolmore stallion based in Ireland, has commanded fees of 600,000 to 700,000 euros per live foal, closer to 660,000 to 770,000 dollars per mating, the highest publicly known stud fee in modern thoroughbred history. The math is what drives everything else. The $5 million yearling, the $200,000 per mating fee, the hyperbaric chamber, the underwater aqua tread, the saltwater spa. None of it would exist if a single champion could not generate $40 million a year for 10 or 15 years just by breeding. The honest math is that 99% of American racehorses don't live this way. Most don't even pay for their own care across a season. Most retire from racing without a stud career waiting for them. Most go to second careers as eventers, riding horses, or therapy animals, and many never recover the money their owners spent. But the 1% that do, the Justifies, the American Pharoahs, the Curlins, the Constitutions, live a life almost no horse and almost no human will ever live. While the average American household earns around $59,000 a year, a top American stallion can earn $40 million in the same year, doing nothing but standing still. Two worlds of American horse racing, both real, almost unrelated, and the one almost no one outside the industry has ever seen.